Welcome to the Fukuoka Prefecture, where an MC named Strawberry Man introduces us to our heroes. Kita Q-Man, Fukuoka Caliber, Heavenly Hero L-Brave, and the 3-in-1 gas company hero Yamashiron. It's funny that our heroes group together to beat up on Strawberry Man, who turns out to be a villain of the Secret Society of Darkness. Watching the one-sided fight go down is Jiro Tanaka, a newcomer to the city, and he's here to meet up with an old childhood friend named Yuki. Our group of heroes find themselves relaxing with some fans, I guess, until they realize something is off. They go back to the mainland and see that their feelings were right, because while they were gone, the Secret Society of Darkness made their move. Luckily, we're given a quick explanation.
私たち福岡のヒーローの活躍のせいで全然ダメダメな株式会社悪の秘密結社の社長ヤバい仮面
Thanks, Wikipedia. So their leader, Yabai Kamen, fights the heroes while Tanaka watches from the sidelines.
逃げろ
He gathers up the courage to stand up to Yabai Kamen.
待て! 僕は絶対許さないぞ!
To some bad results.
何も言わねえのかよ荒くれ者になりたいのねかわいいいらないです
Tanaka stays quiet until the final hero arrives, Ogoman. He's able to hold his own, but not for too long. After a finishing move from both Ogoman and Yabai Kamen, our heroes disappear. Episode 2. Ogoman dies? With a title like that, you'd expect Ogoman to die, but he's alive. He says he's going underground to do his own investigation, so he entrusts Fukuoka to Tanaka and gives him a green pin.
それではオープニングスタート
Ogama-san?
Ogoman also left Tanaka a fully furnished apartment. Nice. Tanaka is out in the city, and some of the secret society guys start to harass him, until his green pin activates, turning Tanaka into a green Ogoman. It's a Shadow the Hedgehog type situation where everyone thinks he's Ogoman despite being a different color. Their fight eventually gets to a park, where we see the first hero, Kita Q-Man. Episode 3. Kita Q-Man panics a bit in his head, since he's only on the villain side because it was easy, but now that he thinks Ogoman is back, he goes to being a good guy, I guess. Kita Q-Man explains that the rest of the heroes were scattered after Yabai Kamen and Ogoman fought, so now their journey, or rather Tanaka's journey, is to gather them up. The two walk to a park where shenanigans ensue, and where Maid Butler arrives for a fight. Neither of them are particular fighters, which means Kita Q-Man has to pull out his finishing move, the Kita Q SOS, which allows him to make a phone call. The person he called says he'll be there in 30 minutes, so they mess around until help arrives. Tanaka isn't feeling great since he's new to heroing, and wasn't sure why Ogoman entrusted him to protect the city, but there's no time for that now, because Maid Butler is ready for a fight, until Kita Q-Man Metal arrives.
弟だったって言いたいの兄さん
Metal immediately knows Tanaka is not the real Ogoman, and starts to explain how to be a hero. Tanaka has flashbacks to his friend Yuki, and reaches out, which is the activation to summon a weapon. And then for his finisher, Tanaka pulls out a medical reminder book like Ogoman.
シャッターチャンスほい
万歳
いやいい絵が撮れたわ
Maid Butler is supposedly defeated, and Tanaka learns that Kita Q-Man may be stiff, but he has a good heart. Tanaka then gets a call from Yuki, who says she evacuated on a certain island due to Yabai Kamen's attack. Tanaka goes back to his apartment for some rest, and it looks like Kita Q-Man already made himself at home. Episode 4. The next morning, Tanaka wishes he had the hero's phone number so he could gather them up faster. Coincidentally, Kita Q-Man is hungry, so he calls Yamashiron to make him breakfast. Even more of a coincidence, Yamashiron is at the same island Yuki is, so the two go to find them. Oh, and Kita Q-Man says Tanaka's hero name is Rookie, and that's just really funny. Once there, we're properly introduced to the gas company heroes, Redron, Ayuron, and Daidoron. Yabai Kamen shows up, splitting himself into 3 and making the heroes start to doubt their friendship, but with the power of friendship, Redron gives a new resolve, and they transform into Yamashiron. Another villain shows up to fight Yamashiron while Tanaka fights Yabai Kamen. Yamashiron is able to power up into a cooler new suit. Yabai Kamen reveals that the green Ogoman is Tanaka, while Yuki watches from around the corner. Episode 5. Yabai Kamen makes fun of Tanaka for being some random civilian, and leaves, I guess. From there, Tanaka wakes up back at his apartment, with Kitakyuman saying that Yuki is back at the island and is worried about him, and Yamashiran is living here too. At the Secret Society of Darkness's base, Strawberry Man tells the rest about a golden seal. Then we get introduced to heavenly hero Elbrave, who's at a warehouse when he comes across Uzagi, a rabbit doll working for the Secret Society of Darkness. Elbrave attempts to fight, but Uzagi reveals a big secret. His body double can fight back. Uzagi starts talking trash about how Elbrave is short and can't save these people, so after some talking with Tanaka, Elbrave regains the courage to fight back. Yeah, I know that was a really short summary for all these episodes, but this episode was just as good as the rest. It's a synopsis that can only say so much without giving everything away. Again, all great episodes, even this one, but there's not much more to add story-wise. It's more character-based. And yes, Elbrave does move into Tanaka's apartment. Episode 6. We start with a flashback to the fight from episode 1, where one of the villains, Eboshi Musha, loses their mask to Fukuoka Caliber, and turns out to be really cute under there. Tanaka walks back from grocery shopping and sees Yuki in his apartment, though the heroes are gone. It's a nice reunion, until Yuki turns out to be another villain of the Secret Society of Darkness, named Shura Amaru. Back with Eboshi Shuma, he has a heartwarming reunion with Fukuoka Caliber, which is just a picture of his old suit, because despite the new look, he's still him. Aw, that's nice. Then Tanaka fights Fukuoka Caliber, turning out to be Shura Amaru. His evil plan is to give Fukuoka Caliber his old suit. Okay, that's funny. After fighting, Tanaka has his actual reunion with Yuki back home. Episode 7. Now that everyone is gathered, their first mission is to reclaim the Fukuoka prefecture. And Yuki is here too. Fukuoka Caliber says the Secret Society of Darkness mentioned a certain golden seal, but it's probably not that important. It's actually super important. Then all of a sudden, our heroes fight Idol of the Secret Society of Darkness. She's really strong, but so is Tanaka with the power of friendship. Tanaka continues his fight until... Idol wakes up looking very defeated, and she doesn't remember anything.
あの子のお気に入りは俺だ。ヒーローハウス特別版。レートエスコと大作戦。
The weirdness aside, our heroes each take out Idol to show her the world.
社長です。
Alright, that's funny. I think this is just a funny show in general, as you can tell. And this is super adorable. Tanaka has a heart-to-heart with Idol when Yabai Kamen arrives. Yabai Kamen overpowers him, returning Idol back to her evil form and taking away Yuki. The rest of our heroes feel betrayed that Tanaka had a villain with them this whole time, so the team splits off. Later that night, Yabai Kamen yells from the rooftops for Fukuoka's heroes to fight him. Kitakyuman arrives to tell him to knock it off, cause he was sleeping. Same. Episode 10. Yamashiran calls the rest of the heroes to Tanaka's apartment for a reconciliation party. They see Yabai Kamen is fighting Kitakyuman, so they go out to help but are easily brought down by him alone. Idol has a change of heart and tries to fight Yabai Kamen, then is defeated.
ままごとは私の一番の思い出。ゆきちゃんにも言ってあげて。
Episode 11 is one big fight scenes of our heroes fighting their respective rival from their focus episodes, so you know it's all action. It seems hopeless until... Ogaman did say he was going to go underground to search for clues, and he happened to find the villain's golden seal. I know that's anticlimactic, but I think it works. With this new power, Tanaka combines his power with Idol and our other heroes.
福岡県福岡カリバー山城よろしくお願いします。
私の名前は北九番。
オーガモン。
メモリーズモード。そしてお前たちも。
Ogaman takes a good long minute to think of what to call themselves.
ドゲンジャーズ。
Episode 12. The DOGENGERS begin their final battle. Yabai Kamen is defeated, and the DOGENGERS have a party. Yabai Kamen apologizes publicly for his evilness and asks to pay for damages, while the DOGENGERS live their lives in a newly protected city. And Kitakyuman's real-life actor makes a cameo. Speaking of cameo...
大丈夫ですか？はい。
That guy looks fairly strong. And finally, Tanaka sits down with Yuki to watch the ocean. Now for the review portion. This season was only 12 episodes long, of course the summary's going to be short. Being a general tokusatsu channel, I try to highlight what I can when I can outside the bigger known IPs like Rider, Sentai, and Ultra. Sometimes I even go over Godzilla and Garo, though they're still well-known names. There are smaller shows that can go under the radar to Western fans, which is where DOGENGERS comes in. Local heroes are a whole topic in themselves, so to put simply, they're like mascots for Japanese towns and prefectures, as well as other brandings and such. DOGENGERS is a show about this niche. As the tagline says, the heroes are real, but the story is fictional. Every suited character here is from a real-life company and can be found in the real-life Fukuoka prefecture. This video isn't going in-depth about all that. Maybe one day I will talk about it, but for now that's pretty much all I'll say about this. So, how's the actual story? I made a review about DOGENGERS a few years ago, since I'll be going through the series in order. At least that's the plan for now. I was excited to get back to one of the most fun and heartwarming shows I've seen in a while, and it still holds up. My thoughts aren't really that different from before. I still very much like this show, but there was one thing that kept going through my mind. Wow, this is really basic. And yeah, Toku is basic in general, good guys versus bad guys, but I mean, this is really basic. A majority of the episodes are Tanaka gathering the DOGENGERS, then we get the episode with Idol, then it's the last couple of fights, and that's pretty much it. It's not much on the surface, but that can also be to its benefit. This show knows what it is, while giving a lot of heartfelt moments. One trope I personally enjoy is found family. People from different backgrounds forming into more than allies and friends. You know, family. Tanaka holds the DOGENGERS together and always entwines with the newest hero we see in thematic ways. He's a fantastic character at its most basic. Just look at that smile. Everyone else can seem a little samey at first on the surface, though they all grow in their own way. Yamashiron is the nice, polite type, Kita Q-Man is lazy and has a big ego, L-Brave is a bit hot-headed, Fukuoka Caliber, I don't know, I think it's the most boring one. They all share the same brain cell with Tanaka, and it's fantastic. I've been saying in recent videos how I like casts collectively, but this is one where I prefer them individually, or at least in a duo, because again, they can seem a little samey as a big group. But pair them with Tanaka or another hero, and they bounce off each other very well. I'll say the opposite about the villains. Yes, Yabai Kamen is amazing. I think everybody can agree on that, just because of that suit alone. It's everyone else I don't really have much to say about. The Secret Society of Darkness are the ones I think work better as a group rather than individual villains. I mean, they do evil stuff like call the heroes mean names, and they try to take control of their prefecture through capitalism, and hey, that's pretty evil. I don't know, they're silly, they have neat designs. I do like them as a whole, but, you know, they're villains in a toku show, I can't add much more than that. And I do have to mention one standout, Idol. She only had a couple of focus episodes, but they were amazing. She and Tanaka's story, to an extent Yuki's, was fantastic. Oh man, that was definitely the highlight of the season. And as I mentioned, this is only 12 episodes long. You can probably find it fairly easily online if you know how to Google. And with a story as basic as this, and with the groundwork laid as basic as this, the video is also going to be fairly short. I mean, it's still around 50 minutes, but hey, to me that's pretty short. I also have that video from a few years ago that goes a little bit more in depth, but I think this is pretty much all I can say about DOGENGERS. If there's any show that can embody heart, it's DOGENGERS. I don't think it'll blow your mind, but it'll make you happy that you watch. With all that being said, join me next time as we save our heroes from cancellation with DOGENGERS Nice Buddy.